Let's show you the highlights here. As you mentioned, T.J. Yates last year, so that meant Matt Schaub's first ever playoff start. Andy Dalton, 2 years in the league, 2 playoff games. It's been 22 years since the Bengals have won a playoff game, though, and J.J. Watt wants to make it.
We saw this
23.
all afternoon, guys. I mean, that Bengals offensive line struggled the last month of the season. They gave up 19 sacks the last 4 weeks, and Dalton was under pressure all afternoon long.
Just one field goal in the first quarter between these two teams, 3-0 Houston when they get it down into the red zone again, and they 3rd and 8, and they throw for about 6 yards.
Yeah, they really struggled in the red zone, Scott, and kicking field goals. That's what kept the Bengals in this game.
Well, Bengals were hanging around here. An interception, or so it appeared, by Kareem Jackson after a couple of Shane Graham field goals put the Texans up 6-0. But take another look at it, Tom.
Yeah, that ball was never in control. Kareem Jackson never had control of it. Andy Dalton was inaccurate today, especially on the deep ball, as you'll see as these highlights continue to roll on.
-6 passing yards in
Not
the first
good.
half.
That's not good.
Passing yard. No, not good at all. But here's why they're hanging around, because the defense makes a play for Cincinnati.
That was the biggest play of the game, really, and that put the Bengals back in chance, but they couldn't capitalize on it, Tom. They couldn't really do anything.
Leon Hall intercepts Schaub and takes it back.
Yeah, Schaub was late to deliver that football, and Leon Hall, a veteran. We saw this a couple weeks ago. He did the same thing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that certainly gave the Bengals a little bit of life.
The Texans are completely outplaying Cincinnati, and yet the Bengals were up by a point. So calm down on the Houston sideline. Arian Foster, and what happened to Ray Maluga?
Hello. Where'd he go? Where'd who go?
Yeah, rough first half, rough game for Ray Maluga. But the offensive line and Foster had been doing it all year long, started getting it going here.
Yeah, the Texans offense made a living on the ground and through the air in the middle of the field.
That was down to the Bengals 24. Ooh, Andre Johnson, though, just can't come up with this Matt Schaub pass here. Schaub knows missed opportunity.
If the Texans are going to advance deep into the AFC postseason, plays like that have to be made.
So stop me if you heard this one before. Another Shane Graham field goal, and it was 9-7. But Houston had the lead, and their defense try and make some plays. Dalton scrambles, throws back across his body, and a nice knockdown right there by Brandon Harris.
And once again, the common theme was the pressure that was applied to Andy Dalton.
So they had to punt, and they do. And on the punt, you can see that's interference there, interfering with the man's right to catch the football. So a 15-yard penalty puts it into Cincinnati territory, and they take a shot to Andre Johnson. That's incomplete, but you saw a flag come in at the bottom of the screen. It was a route over the middle of the field that they get called for defensive holding. It extends the drive. Just hand it to Foster. He plows in, the leading touchdown scorer.
They score a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. That was your one offensive touchdown in this entire football game. Andy Dalton, though, still within a couple of scores here. They take a shot and hit this one.
Yeah, this was basically the biggest play of the day for the Cincinnati Bengals. The cornerbacks for the Texans were jumping routes all day long, and Andy just didn't have time to throw the football.
Here was one of your closest calls of the day. Ruled an incomplete pass as Connor Barwin knocks the ball loose. What'd you think, Sean?
Well, it looked like at first it was going to be ruled a fumble, but when you see the arm coming through and the ball heading towards the line of scrimmage, usually indicates an incomplete pass.
It was a coach's challenge. They did not overturn the call. Cincinnati maintained possession there, and that just let J.J. Watt come in and do Dikembe Mutombo style right there. So Dalton gets it back, and then what happened here, Tom?
This was interesting because it just looked as if A.J. Green wasn't on the same page, and he stopped running. And obviously, again, Joseph is staring at the quarterback the whole time. Joseph ran a better route than A.J. Green.
Tom Waddle makes that catch.
Didn't even put his hands out there, A.J. Green, on that
Tom Waddle would have never gotten off the line of scrimmage.
Jonathan Joseph with the interception there. So fourth quarter we go. It's still a ball game at this point if Cincinnati can get it to one possession.
That's good hard running.
They run on 4th and 1 and get the first down there.
Give credit to that O-line right there, because that's a tough defense to do that against.
So the drive is extended. Plenty of time on the clock. Take a shot, and
man,
that ball cannot hang like that. I mean, Andy Dalton had this trouble all day long. Great play by Jonathan Joseph. Once again, able to knock the football away, but that ball just can't stay in the air that long.
Jackson in on the play there as well. Ensuing Texans drive after the field goal made it a 6-point game. Schaub to DeVere Posey for 19 yards, but they called pass interference on the offense here, so the Texans would have to punt. Here you go. A touchdown can win the game with under 5 minutes left to go. 3rd and 11. They don't convert. They hadn't converted a third down all game long until you see the flag comes in. Pass interference, their first third down conversion. Game is still alive. 1st and 10. They are into Houston territory here. Marvin Jones with a pickup on 15 yards from the slant pattern down to the 35-yard line. It's now 3rd and 11. Dalton deep as A.J. Green.
Here's the theme of the day. You saw the one deep completion between Andy Dalton and A.J. Green, but we've seen several, Sean, that they just couldn't hook up.
That was a touchdown.
Missed opportunities.
That was a touchdown, and they couldn't take the lead. So 4th and 11, and what are you doing throwing an 8-yard route on 4th and 11?
Not to A.J. Green. If you're going to throw the football on 4th and 11, this may be your last offensive play of the season. I'm taking my chances with A.J. Green behind the first down marker.
So they're trying to run the clock out, and they run play-action pass. A little bit of a dicey call right there, but Matt Schaub delivers. They get the first down. They would get another one by penalty a little bit later. And then it was a matter of a couple of kneel downs. And for the second straight year in the AFC wildcard round, the Houston Texans best the Cincinnati Bengals. This score, 19-13. The
Green Bay and Minnesota. We all thought Christian Ponder from
Florida State, baby,
going to start, but he had a bad arm all week. Tested it pregame, scratch. So Joe Webb, who didn't even throw a pass all season, got the nod as the starting QB.
So what do you think the sentiments of the Vikings fans were when they heard this news?
Well, how about his thought process? Adrian Peterson, who ran for 409 against the Packers in 2 games during the regular season, including a $1.99 last week. But here in the early going, 3rd and 3. Look at Joe Webb, the escapability.
Yeah, that's something that they thought that it was going to be an issue in this game because they didn't have an opportunity, the Green Bay Packers, that is, to practice on that read option. Early on, it was something.
And then here's Adrian Peterson for 11 yards and moving the chains. 3 plays later, though, 3rd and 7.
Ponder the thought.
Yeah, but he's probably thinking I could have made a better throw than this.
I don't know about that. That's horrible.
No, I know about that. He could have made a better throw than that.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Led to a Blair Walsh field goal and 3-zip lead. But this was part of the problem all night. Joe Webb thought he was playing in the backyard. He did this about 3 times.
That's not good. That's
but
not good
what about it was notable that the lineman knew what to do. He just batted that ball down.
Led to a Vikings punt here ensuing Packers possession. Aaron Rodgers to DeJuan Harris. This guy was selling cars down in the state of Florida 2 months ago.
And I tell you what, he won't sell another one the way he's running.
6 plays later, Harris taking the pitch, cutting it back. Does he get in? The refs say no, that he was down inside the 1. Now, this would have been the last play of the first quarter. Mike McCarthy's checking the big board, decides to challenge it. Good challenge.
Very good challenge. And as you said, Prime, he is not trying to sell any more cars. Fought all the way to the end. Great cut back on, had a beautiful read, got into the end zone, stretched out for the touchdown.
And Packers have a 7-3 lead. Second quarter, Webb trying to keep the play alive. But watch this. Clay Matthews turns into the human speed bump.
Is that not the easiest sack ever?
You missed some easy ones. You get something like that.
That's Matthews besting the rookie Ryan Khalil to help drop Webb. Next play, 3rd and 15. Webb pressured again by Mike Neal. Here we go again, right? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
That's not good.
The enormity of the game outweighed his skill level at this point.
He was 3 of 12 for 22 passing yards in the first half.
Just what I said.
Here's the reigning league MVP, and here's why. Aaron Rodgers to Tom Crabtree. Oh, the up and over.
What'd you say, Prime? All those tattoos?
Well,
no way you can hurt him?
Yeah, a man with a tattoo like that, you think that hurt him?
5 plays later, Rodgers to Greg Jennings on 4th and 5. And, man, if he's healthy, this is a different team.
That's Rodgers' favorite receiver right there, no doubt. If you get him back, you saw what happened with Jones and Cobb. They came in, stepped up big. Now he's got his favorite guy back.
On 2nd and goal, little play action looking for Jermichael Finley. It's broken up. John Kuhn stopped short on 3rd down, so it led to a Mason Crosby field goal and a Green Bay 10-3 lead. Same score under 2 minutes to go. Textbook 2-minute drive by Rodgers, who finds Jordy Nelson, Prime.
I mean, he was just on point. It seems like he excelled when they got into this 2-minute offense.
Next play, Rodgers to Greg Jennings for a gain of 14.
If you allow him to know what's happening when he gets under center, he's going to pick you apart, and he did on his drive.
How about this bullet to Nelson for 23?
That's almost like cheating.
But I wondered if Mike McCarthy maybe had John Kuhn on his playoff fantasy team, because he tried to get it to him twice on the previous series for a score, and finally he gets in.
Good kid. You got to reward him. He probably works his butt off all week in practice as well as special teams. Great kid.
17-3 lead. 3rd quarter, Packers trying to pile it on. 3rd and 4, Rodgers to James Jones for 19 yards across the middle inside the Viking 40. 6 plays later, Crosby lining up for a 32-yarder. But look at this. Jasper Brinkley, you're our 12th man on the field. You're a 4th-year guy out of South Carolina. Get off the field!
When things like this happen at this point of the year, you have problems.
So 12 men on the field. Leslie Frazier, your thoughts?
Hold on.
Exactly.
I don't blame you, Leslie.
So next play, it's 1st and goal. Rodgers to John Kuhn, who does his best. Nat Moore, watch the spin. Woo! But he stays on his feet.
But he's been saving for the playoffs all year long. Let the other guys score outside the numbers. They can catch the touchdown passes, but he's saving it for the playoffs.
But look at T.J. Lang. Is he more than 5 yards downfield?
Man, I thought he was going out for the pass. He was so far downfield.
Second TD of the game for Kuhn, who had 1 coming into the game all season long. Here comes Adrian Peterson, but stuffed by Eric Walden. Held under 100. They held him to 99.
They tackled. That's what the Green Bay Packers didn't do the first 2 meetings. The open guy tackled Adrian Peterson.
All right, going for it on 4th and 3. Webb. That's a legit sack by Clay Matthews.
Go that man again.
Scoops it up.
That's just balling right there. Came all the way around the horn. Got the trifecta there. Caused fumble, sack, and recovery, Brian.
And next stop for Green Bay, San Francisco on Saturday night. That, of course, a rematch from Week 1, won by the Niners up in Green Bay. So that ought to be a whole lot of fun. Packers win this one 24-10. Greg Jennings, welcome back after the game. He caught up with our Albert Breer.
Game 1 here on Sunday of Wild Card Weekend. Ray Lewis hugging Roger Goodell. Could be the final home game of his 17-year career.
Nothing else don't matter, man. But each other today. That's what loyalty is. Loyalty is going inside your heart and find out who you really are. Make sure you look at your teammate today and you come out and you give pure hell today. This team ain't ready for us. Let's prove that they ain't ready for us.
Colts head coach Chuck Pagano returning. He's the recent defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. Used to coach Ray Lewis in an emotional, meaningful pregame ritual there for Ray Lewis. Again, quite possibly the final home game of his Raven career. And
right, as you mentioned, look at Ed Reed and Chuck Pagano. So much emotion on both sides of the football. 2 great stories.
And no one ever had a chance to see that opening by Ray Lewis or be in that stadium when it's happening. Electrifying.
And Clyde Christensen calling the plays today for the Colts. Bruce Arians in the hospital.
And the Baltimore Ravens came after Andrew Luck today. Lots of blitzes. They started early and they lasted most of the afternoon.
And Ray Rice putting it on the turf right there. Marshall Yanda comes up with it for the Ravens, but officials say that Lawrence Guy actually recovered it for the Colts.
And they got it wrong.
Yeah.
They got this wrong because Yanda actually does come up with it. Guy does not possess the football, loses it, as you see right there. And ultimately, the call was right because the official decided he thought a Colts player had possession of the football. But
so the Colts take over, and that's Ray Lewis shooting the gap, bringing down Vic Ballard for a 1-yard loss.
One thing you can talk about, a guy that might be rusty, but one thing you don't lose as a football player is instincts. Ray Lewis has some of the best instincts to ever play this game.
12 plays later, 3rd and 5, ball comes out. Pressured and sacked by Paul Kruger, and he fumbles. Pernell McPhee comes up with it for Baltimore.
Yeah, that was the game plan today. Bring the heats at the rookie quarterback and see if he could handle it.
Hey, Flacco tried to get that Vontae Davis. He couldn't catch it.
You know, and this was the tail of the game. A lot of missed opportunities
Both teams.
by both sides. Yeah, a lot of chances for plays that guys did not capitalize on.
Joe Flacco made some nice throws today. 1st down and 10 on the next drive with time and looking for Torrey Smith. Got him. Good catch.
I'll tell you what, Joe Flacco is... Some of it is very, very good. Some of it, you just scratch your head, but you just don't know which guy you're going to get on any given Sunday.
Well, Sandon Doss could have caught that ball back at the end zone.
It's plays like that your receivers need to help you out. You know, that's not seen in the score sheet to say, you know, a guy make a great catch. You know, goes as a catch for the
There's another
receiver.
opportunity, as you talked earlier, Darren. Ray Lewis with an opportunity, with an interception, his last home game.
He wanted that.
Just probably trying a little too hard.
Isn't it funny how the ball finds guys, certain guys on the football field?
Luck then finding his rookie tight end, one of his rookie tight ends, Dwayne Allen, breaks Adrian Hamilton's tackle, picks up 22 yards.
Yeah, the arrow's pointing up for this offense, filled with rookies that are all playing quite well. Once again, you see the pressure coming, blitzes from all over the field today.
Sacked by Paul Kruger and Corey Graham, led to a field goal to tie at 3. Joe Flacco just finding himself enough time and finding a lane there to get it to Ray Rice.
And Ray does the rest.
Yeah, I want to see them use Ray more in this type of situation. Screen passes, a little short pass, give him the ball, and let him do what he does.
To the 2-yard line. 1st and goal. Give it to the fullback, Vontae Leach. Powers his way into the end zone. Ravens up 10-3.
That was a big score before halftime. Putting Baltimore up. Vontae Leach, unsung hero.
Banged up.
Yeah.
Out there performing.
Tough guy.
Look at the play here by Andrew Luck to Reggie Wayne, 20 yards down to the Ravens' 43.
Well, this is what they've majored in all season long. Quality drives with pressure coming. This one's not going to go so well. That ball doesn't reach the line of scrimmage, so you're going to get grounding.
Pressure there by Daniel Ellerbe, forcing that penalty, pushing the Colts back to their own 41. Now, Andrew Luck making a big play here, stepping up. Tough throw across his body to T.Y. Hilton. Good pivot and a little sprint down the side to put him in field goal range.
3rd and 26.
Yeah, but this is a little premature to talk about next week, but that's not a good sign for this Baltimore defense because the next guy they're going to play will do that each and every play.
You talked about a huge lift for the Ravens to score that touchdown. This is a huge lift as well for the Indianapolis Colts to draw within 4 going into the third quarter.
52 yards. That was a postseason career long for Vinatieri. And Paul Kruger spent a lot of time in the backfield of the Colts today.
Yes, he did. Looked like he got a bit of a head start right there, but no flag.
They've been trying to get pressure on the quarterback. Terrell Suggs a little banged up. Paul Kruger provided that today.
Ensuing Ravens drive. This is 2nd down and 6. Flacco putting it in really the perfect spot, but still a great catch by Anquan Bolden.
They had something going on. Anquan Bolden, no catches in the first half. Second half had at least 5 catches for well over 100 yards. That's just a beautiful throw and catch. Joe Flacco saved his best football for the second half of this game.
That was Bolden beating Cassius Vaughn on the double move. Another play from Joe Flacco, stepping it up. Dump it off to Dennis Pitta. He finds his way into the end zone, and the Ravens find themselves leading by 11.
And again, you're saying to yourself, Joe Flacco doing nice things. Maybe he is that $100 million quarterback.
Maybe.
Earning himself some money here.
3rd and 2. Andrew Luck buying time and finding a way to get 6 yards for a first to the Baltimore 43. 3 plays later, another 3rd down. This time 3rd and 2 again. Wants his rookie running back, Vic Ballard. He's got him. He's got just enough. Picks up 3 yards for a first down to the Baltimore 32.
I'm telling you, there's a lot to work with going forward on this Colts offense.
Future's very bright.
A little high and behind Reggie Wayne, but still he had a chance at it.
Yeah, Reggie was a little bit upset at Andrew. Andrew know he missed this pass because it's a quick pass. The hot route threw it a little bit high and behind Reggie Wayne.
Field goal made it 17-6 on the sideline there with the man calling the plays today. That's Clyde Christensen with Bruce Arians in the hospital with a sickness. 4th quarter now, Ray Rice, a little patience off the left side, and there he goes, 18 yards.
Yeah, one thing you have to be careful of when you're a running back and you break into the open field and you start to shake and bake, make sure, and as guys chasing from behind, you always have to protect that football. Something that we have not seen Ray Rice do this season with only 1 fumble
in the regular season.
Year, but he had 2 today, 2 big ones too.
Pat Anger recovers. Next Colts drive. Luck to Wayne for 19 yards on 2nd and 6.
Colts got to get the ball in the end zone. Kicking field goals is not going to get you playoff victories on the road.
3rd down and 9, that's not going to help either. Donnie Avery can't come up with it.
And this is the sign of a young team. The drops, the drop passes, not making the right decisions is something that a young team is going to do. But a good learning experience for them.
From 40 yards out, I was kind of waiting for that one to draw in. It just stayed straight. And Vinatieri misses from 40. Ray Rice relieved. Next Baltimore drive. Bernard Pierce in the clear. 43 yards later, he's at the Colts 18.
It's always amazing this time of year you start to see a guy you never heard of, a young running back, start to play his best football.
And an older wide receiver playing very well for the Ravens, Anquan Bolden. What do they teach you? Go up and get it at its highest point?
Go up and catch it at its highest point. He is so strong, too. You'll see Butler gets an arm in there. And great concentration and strength. Did a nice job creating some space on the route. Joe Flacco put it up there, gave his receiver a chance to catch the football, and Ray's got something to dance about.
And Bolden, all 5 of his catches for $145 and a touchdown in the second half. And that one picked off. Kerry Williams, there he goes.
You know what's going to come. I mean, 50 pass attempps?
Yeah, close to 50. They were pressing the issue. They're trailing at this point.
A blitzing defense. Sooner or later, it was going to be a play was going to be made by this Baltimore Raven defense.
Ray Lewis,
one of the best of all time.
Emotional.
Folks at home, appreciate this. DVR recorded. One of the best football players you will ever see.
Now I will suggest
cherish his time.
That the Ravens get yourself some rest right now because you're going to Denver, and that team's going to put up a little bit better fight than the one you got from the Colts today.
How about them Seahawks, Michael Irvin?
Surely.
Oh, Russell Wilson,
Seahawks.
the 15th Seahawks coming in against RG3. 7 consecutive wins since starting 3-6. Only the 15th ever to start 3-6 in the Super Bowl, ever to make the playoffs, and they came out on fire as he sort of limps around the edge there.
Kyle Shanahan did a great job in the first 2 drives, moving the football, spreading it around. And RG3 looked like he was going to be a huge factor in this game.
From the pocket, looks for Pierre Garçon. Wide open 30-yard gain. Yards after the catch down to the Seahawks 21. Next play, 6th play of this drive. It's time for the Butler. Flip it out to Alfred Morris, second leading rusher in the league this year. Hardly touched until he gets down to the 5. 18-yard gain 3 plays later. 3rd and goal, 9th play of the drive.
He was housing the Seahawks early.
RG3 to Evan Royster, end zone touchdown. 9 plays, 80 yards, 5:03 off the clock.
It almost seems like this was too easy at this point of the game. A wonderful drive by the Redskins.
Seahawks go 3 and out. RG3 again keeping the ball plus side of the field, nearing the red zone there. 8-yard gain. Ball comes loose. RG3 was ruled down. Good call right there, down to the Seahawks 24. 4 plays later, inside.
You could tell it wasn't healthy.
Inside the 10 again. 1st and 10. He goes around the end.
This would usually be a touchdown by the old
flips it into the end zone. It's incomplete, but even without getting touched, he got hurt on this play. Gingerly gets up. He's got that knee brace on his right knee, takes his helmet off, limps back to the huddle. But then you think, okay, he's not himself all game long. Kirk Cousins maybe has to come in the game when RG3 hits his back leg and finds a wide open Logan Paulson in the end zone.
Just perfect timing, and that's what makes it so incredible to see a young guy sit back, drop, hit that last step, find that perfect place to throw the ball.
A one-legged throw, tack on 15 more yards, and a chat with Mike Shanahan, and then he goes into some little room to get checked out.
You know what room that is.
Well, there's Dr. James Andrews.
That's the feel-good room.
Who told USA Today that he basically said his heart was in his throat with how quickly RG3 has come back and now down 2 scores on 3rd and long. Russell Wilson throws it out to Zach Miller, who picks it off his shoe tops and gets a crucial first down.
Key player of the game. That kept the momentum going for Seattle. If they go 3 and out there, man, the Redskins take advantage of it.
They'd have to get the ball back. 2nd quarter, now Russell Wilson keeps it instead of giving it to Marshawn Lynch, and he gets a gain of 19 yards. 3 plays later as RG3's out from his little room visit.
Still trying to get going over there, RG3.
Russell Wilson, a Sidney Rice.
Rich, I talked to these receivers about making plays this morning, and Sidney Rice right here, first glance, it looked like he was out of bounds, but what a wonderful play that was.
You said that this morning?
I talked to him, Sidney Rice.
Big gain right there. Led only to a field goal, and the ball bounced right in the next possession for the Seahawks as as Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, the exchange is loose. Ball bounces right to Lynch. Now they're inside the red zone. Flip it out to Michael Robinson. How many fullbacks have scored this weekend? John Kuhn had a couple scores.
You guys, the playoffs is all about unsung heroes, X factors, guys you don't normally think is going to have big games. They have big games.
14-10 now. RG3 up top, but here comes Earl Thomas from the other side of the field.
Great play. He played a great center field. Came over and made a huge play. You can see this personal battle going on all game between the receiver and the cornerback.
Led to a Stephen Hauschka field goal. 13 unanswered after the Redskins start with 14 unanswered to start the game. It's now 14-13. First possession of the second half. Beast mode in full effect right here. Big game. Marshawn Lynch, 26 yards. Down to the Redskins, 44. 4 plays later, it's on the 32. Russell Wilson to Golden Tate.
Name is Russell.
I really like the way those young guys, those guys made plays today. Sidney Rice, Golden Tate.
Inside the red zone now, it's Marshawn Lynch up the gut inside the 5 for 15 yards down to the Redskins. 2 plays later, it's the Redskins 1, and Marshawn Lynch has his bell rung by London Fletcher. Ball is loose. Jarvis Jenkins recovers.
Wonderful job by Washington.
And the Seahawks cough it up on the 1.
This is a running back's nightmare to have a defender square you up and put his helmet directly on the football. The ball has to go somewhere. Unfortunately, it bounced out.
Only 2 lost fumbles for Lynch all season. A crucial one right there, so it's still a 1-point game. RG3 picks up the first down, which was getting few and far between for the offense after they scored their second touchdown of the game. Santana Moss moved the chains. 3rd and 11 a few plays later, and he couldn't really follow through seemingly on that leg.
Just can't be. It's not totally himself, but he's trying to go for his teammates and for that city. He knows what he means to that football organization.
4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
His last name Wilson.
It's not just a run. That's a very smart run right there, Rich. Made everything he could get out of that without taking a big hit.
28 yards to the 30. 2 plays later to Doug Baldwin. Oh, he had a step a la A.J. Green in Houston yesterday, but they could not convert. Seahawks end up punting on that drive. They're outplaying the Redskins in quarters 2 and 3, but still 1 point down. Don't get points for outplaying people. RG3 limping his way almost to a first down here around the end. 9 yards.
Now, a healthy RG3, that would have been 39 yards.
4 plays later, 3rd and 7. RG3. Oh, Leonard Hankerson can't corral it, and the Redskins are forced to punt.
That play.
Ensuing Seahawks possession. Second play of the drive. Russell Wilson hands it off to Lynch, who makes some moves. 18-yard gain to the Seahawks 46. 3 plays later, 5th play of the drive. 3rd and 10. Can they move the chains? You betcha. Zach Miller beating the blitz.
Great play right here. I felt like the Redskins were very aggressive. Any kind of screen pass would have gotten them. They ran a nice wide delay right there.
3 plays later, another 3rd down. Marshawn Lynch converts the first down, and look who helps convert the touchdown.
Russell. Last name Wilson.
Blocking his running back into the end zone. The Seahawks take a 19-14 lead on the beast mode score.
That's just attitude right there. When your quarterback is leading your running back down the field and helps to get him into the end zone, oh, man, right there, that's a Pete Carroll coach football team.
And then number 3 has to go for 2. Believe it or not, for the first time all season, first 2-point conversion of the season, up 5.
And just perfectly puts it on that back shoulder for the big body to cover it up. The defensive back can never get through that big body to get to that football.
Big game for Zach Miller, as it's now a 1-score game full. 7 points. RG3, play fake, coming around the end, 1st and 10, and he is taken down by fellow rookie Bruce Irvin, the first overall pick of the Seahawks draft, with a 12-yard loss. Next play, fumbled snap, and there goes RG3 down in a heap. His right leg finally gives way. Hearts in throats, not only throughout FedEx Field, but on both sidelines and in couches and living rooms and bars everywhere across the United States.
Rich, courageous effort on one leg. He had been doing a great job, but we all knew it. Playing on the bad leg, it was just a matter of time before something like this happened. Let's just hope that it's not anything catastrophic.
And it's a James Andrews in the lid coming out there, as it's time for Shanahan to turn to Kirk Cousins for sure now with 6:19 to go. But the fumble gives Russell Wilson and the Seahawks the ball inside the 5 as RG3 gamely walks off on his own power and then goes back into that little room there in FedEx Field. And then the 3 plays later, Russell Wilson incomplete to Golden Tate. So Stephen Hauschka, who was kicking essentially on one leg today, he kicked a field goal to make it a 2-score game. And against this rampaging Seahawks defense, Kirk Cousins really didn't have much in him except a couple of plays as he moved the chains to Leonard Hankerson.
Nice throw right there to Leonard Hankerson for a first down.
But the Redskins having a go for it 4 plays later on 4th and long, and that's just basically chum in the water for the Seahawks.
You know, right here on this play, Rich, you look at it, great blitz. They had the right protection call, and Kirk Cousins was taking his time because he felt like they should have it blocked up. Evan Royce, a young guy, missed the block, and there you have it.
So Russell Wilson, the 75th overall pick in this draft this year, flips it out to Zach Miller to essentially wrap it up with 3 minutes to go. And the Seattle Seahawks and their rookie quarterback from the 3rd round are the ones who take down the 2nd overall pick and the sensational Robert Griffin III in the best Redskins season in recent memory. Their first division title since 1999 results in a one-and-done ball game against the Seattle Seahawks, who now, with their first divisional road win since 1983, they are the ones who move on to the Georgia Dome to take on the top-seeded Atlanta Falcons, who I will go out on a limb and say have their work cut out for them.
Treated us to something special. Would it be the final day of Ray Lewis's career? Out in the Denver chill, just 13 degrees at kick. Peyton Manning slipping on the isotoners. He's wearing gloves out there.
Don't blame him.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Ravens punt, opening drive. Here comes Trindon Holiday. 5'6", and he is coming up big, Brian.
Holiday, hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Holiday. This kid here is a playmaker. I can't understand the Baltimore Ravens. Everybody migrated to the right side of the field and leaving the whole outside wide open for Holiday.
Longest punt return in playoff history.
Look at all the bodies of the Ravens. You only have one guy to outrun. Then now, when you're able to see the paint, baby, get the band fired up.
And how about Peyton Manning? Look, he's jumping for joy. He's like, I don't have to play today.
I don't have to go out there and see Ray Lewis right now.
Ensuing kickoff, it's the AFC Pro Bowl returner, Jacoby Jones. What's going on here?
Little nervous.
Okay, so 3 plays later, Joe Flacco. This tested Ravens on 3rd and 8. Flacco to Tandon Doss. Incomplete, but Tony Carter called for pass interference.
You know, that was great play. That was a great play.
I
to
agree.
me, he just cut the route off, ran him out of bounds. Great play.
Great throw and catch here. Flacco to Torrey Smith, beating Champ Bailey, who had one of the worst days of his career.
One of the worst. It's probably the worst I've ever seen, and it didn't stop here, folks. This was just the beginning.
Smith held to just 1 catch in their first meeting. Toasts the future Hall of Famer on this one.
Cornerbacks, when the receiver knocks that hand off of you, it takes your inside shoulder and you pause for a second and he's able to gain ground, especially a guy that can run like Torrey Smith.
How would the gloves treat Peyton on this first throw behind Demaryius Thomas?
A little shaky at first, but he snapped out of it eventually. Definitely he was getting used to it. You saw him constantly fidgeting with him.
Here, intended for Decker, tipped and picked by Corey Graham. So the Ravens put up 14 points in 42 seconds.
I don't care what you say, Dion. That was pass interference,
and
buddy.
you know what? I'm sitting up here thinking, that was a great play. Now, okay, I have a right to the ball just like you have a right to the ball.
Not a right to his left arm, though.
At this point, I'm saying, here we go with Peyton Manning, inconsistencies in cold weather.
Here we go. Peyton on 3rd and 7. Look at the catch and run by Jacob Tammy.
Hey, great catch. Folks at home, you do not realize how hard this is for a big guy to bend his body, scoop that ball off the turf.
Then on 3rd and 8, look at the catch by Brandon Stokely, the former Raven, gets a knee down.
And the throw, Prime.
Right on the money. Game plan play, a little out and up. Stokely is still one of the best to do it in the game.
In that slot, I'm telling you, you can argue Welker. I'm not sure anybody else gets it done like he does.
Some Wes Welker.
I know you do.
We are tied at 14 after the first 15 minutes. Second quarter, Flacco looking for Torrey Smith again, and look who gets beat again. It's the 12-time Pro Bowler Champ Bailey, but this one, a little too low.
You know, that reminds me of the game in Houston versus Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you cannot miss those type of plays in a playoff setting.
Well, here, Manning does not miss it to Decker for 32 yards. We're in the red zone. We're moving the chains. We got another first down for Denver.
I like these big wide receivers, breaking tackles, finishing runs.
Next play, Manning to his running back, Noshawn Moreno, who beats Donnell Ellerbe, his former college teammate.
How many times do you see that? A stop and go on a linebacker versus a running back. Game plan play. Great game planning by the Denver Broncos.
I love it.
Moreno hurt his knee. He would not play in the second half, but that put Denver up by a touchdown. Next, Broncos possession. Matt Prater from 52 yards out.
Looked like my golf swing.
Better yet, we've got a shot of Heath Evans' golf swing. Look at the 9-iron here. We call that a little fat.
How do you do that? And that's all you do.
I don't know. It looked like his plant foot was too high, too far away from the ball. A lot of things were wrong.
So the Ravens trying to put points on the board in the waning seconds, and it's Smith again. Look at the adjustment.
My goodness. Let me tell you something. It's not too many players could make this play. Champ Bailey had great coverage.
Yes.
This was just a great play. You can't cover a man better than that.
And who's loving it? Sugar. We're tied at 21 at recess. Third quarter opening kickoff. It's Mighty Mite, Trendon Holiday.
Oh yeah, Holiday.
104 yards. He's the first player ever with a punt and a kickoff return for a score in playoff history.
Hey, that man.
And as you mentioned, John, well, first of all, nobody's back from the set. They're all getting their hot cocoa.
They're all trying to warm up.
They're cold.
John Harbaugh, remember, former special teams coach?
Yes.
As Peyton's loving it. Harbaugh's thinking to himself, wait a second, this is not what I taught. Now, Ray Lewis getting that digit looked at.
Those knuckles hurt.
It'll go down.
Leon's got a toe that looks like that.
You put a ring on that thing, I bet it'll go down.
Yeah, still managed to get 17 tackles on this day. Then Manning has the ball stripped. Of course, they review all turnovers. They get another look at it, and Paul Kruger's fumble recovery is upheld.
Should have been.
Yeah, good call. Good call. That one hurt that team, though.
Ensuing Baltimore drive, here comes Ray Rice. 30 carries, $131 on this day.
That was one of his better runs. I felt as though Ray Rice ran the ball all day, not wanting to fumble.
Yeah.
Not really aggressive.
A little hesitant at times, but
very
you know what?
hesitant.
You love the 130 yards, and you love that Caldwell got him involved because he is still the key to this offense.
He is pumped up after scoring from a yard out. We're tied at 28, and Peyton's got to go back to work.
They didn't like that mile high salute, though, Chris.
Peyton to Joel Dreesen. And then we've got a little unnecessary roughness on Jockey Brown.
Horrendous call. I do not understand it. They're turning this game into a real soft heart. Look at it.
It's a shoulder hit.
It's a
first.
shoulder.
Listen, I'm an offensive guy. That shouldn't have been a penalty.
3 plays later, Manning. Demarius Thomas, no, but you see the late flag. It's called on Kerry Williams for holding.
It was not holding. He did not impede his route. This is the route that Heath and I don't agree with.
Look at holding.
The shoulders just touched it. The shoulders just, he just has his hand rested gently on the shoulder. It did not impede the route. The receiver dropped the ball.
That was a horse collar tackle, Dion.
3 plays later, Manning to Demarius Thomas makes the great cut and gets away from Ray Lewis, and he is into the end zone, and Denver has a 35-28 lead.
This is what makes Peyton Manning so great. He's audible. This was an audible at the line of scrimmage, something that he saw. It's like having another coach on the field.
Capping a 10-play, 88-yard drive. Here comes Baltimore now on 3rd and 7. Flacco to Anquan Bolden, a team-high 6 grabs for 71 yards there near midfield. 4 plays later, 3rd and 5, Flacco. Buying time, Jacoby Jones. Oh!
Gotta have that, Jacoby. Gotta have that, baby.
For him right there, Dion. After what he went through last offseason.
After a Baltimore timeout, 4th and 5, they're going for it. Flacco to Dennis Pitta, and knocked away nicely by Mike Adams.
I didn't like his selection of receivers that time. I really did.
So now Denver on 3rd and 8. Couple first downs. They're salting it away. Ronnie Hillman played very well. 83 yards for the rookie, but stopped shy of the first down. So the Ravens force a punt. Flacco now with 40 ticks to go. 3rd and 3, just launches it downfield. Jacoby Jones somehow gets behind Raheem Moore for the 70-yard touch. Blow that kiss. We are tied at 35.
I want to see him dance, actually.
How in the world does this happen?
This is the problem right here. 3rd and 3. The cornerback is playing cover 2. He knows he has safety help over top. Raheem Moore backpedals and not opening his hip and get to the deepest point, and he falls on the play. 31
seconds left in regulation. The Broncos with 2 timeouts and arguably the greatest quarterback ever take a knee. We'll get to that in just a minute. So we're headed to overtime. Remember, each team gets a possession as long as the team that gets it first, in this case Baltimore, doesn't score a touchdown. On 3rd and 4, Flacco incomplete. Intended for Torrey Smith, but guess what? A flag on Champ Bailey.
Throw the ball to Anquan Bolden. I don't believe that flag. I don't think that was a good call.
I agree with you on that one.
I think that was just a great play by Champ Bailey. When you don't see the receiver get up complaining, that means it was right.
So with Peyton trying to get loose on the sidelines, Flacco really stayed pretty clean on this day. Von Miller, Elvis Dumerville get the only sack for the team that led the NFL in sacks.
Throw the ball to
That was because of the DBs. DB's doing their job, help that.
Now Denver on 3rd and 1, they give it to Jacob Hester. He gets stuffed by T. Sizzle.
Sizzle for shizzle.
So Baltimore gets the punt back. Flacco almost picked here by Mike Adams, who is out of bounds.
Tap your toes, find a way.
Next play, after a delay of game, it's 3rd and 13, and Flacco, who became the first quarterback this season to throw for more than 300 yards against Denver, 24 yards to Pitta, and a first down. 3 plays later, it's 3rd and 3. Flacco to Bolden, nearly picked by Chris Harris, so Baltimore would punt.
Great play. Great play by Harris.
So here comes Denver. Peyton Manning, 48 career game-winning drives on his resume. Flushed, and he wishes he had it back. Looking for Stokely, finds Corey Graham.
Cardinal sin against his body. Even the great ones do it. You see Stokely, 14 right there in the middle of your screen. That's his guy on 3rd down. Pressure situations. Forced it.
So you figure 1 first down, Baltimore's in field goal range, and here comes Ray Rice up the middle for 11 yards, gets a big push from Marshall Yanda, the Pro Bowler.
Which got him the first down.
Yes.
Now on to the second overtime, the first one in the NFL in 9 playoff seasons. It's Justin Tucker from 47 to win it. The rookie out of Texas, and Baltimore continues its dance It is not over yet for Ray Lewis. Hugs and kisses on the sidelines and on the field in an amazing, amazing game that was tied 5 times. There were 4 lead changes. No team ever led by more than 7 points. And now Baltimore is off to the AFC title game for the 3rd time in the last 5 years, while Denver's 11-game winning streak is over. It's a rematch from Week 1, Lambeau Field, 30-22, where Alex Smith was the quarterback. Not anymore. Aaron Rodgers grew up in Chico, a couple hours away. Justin Smith back in the lineup after missing the last 2 games with a bad elbow and a torn triceps. Colin Kaepernick getting the start and on his 2nd pass. Prime, you can't do this.
You can't throw the ball late across your body. Great play, great reaction, great return, touchdown.
Sam Shields, 52 yards for the score on that one.
It was a big play. It didn't start off so good, but as we know, this young fellow bounced back and bounced back nicely.
Yeah, everybody wondered, okay, would his confidence be shaken? Well, you can see Anthony Davis saying, it's okay. Settle down, long way to go. Ensuing drive, 3rd and 2, huge play, incomplete pass to Michael Crabtree, but Tramon Williams is flagged, called for holding.
Yeah, that was more than holding.
The typical DB throwing his hands in the air. I'm innocent.
Now 3rd and 10, Kaepernick feels the pressure, just, you know what? You take it, Frank Gore.
Nice.
This is where he puts you in a quandary. You know, do you come up and attack the run, or do you sit back and hold for the pass and give up 20 yards on the quarterback scramble? This young kid put this team and this defense from the Green Bay Packers in a tight spot all night long.
Gain of 45, then 3 plays later on 3rd and 8. This is the difference between him and Alex Smith.
Well, this is the thing right now that people turn the TV up and say, guys, this is why Harbaugh made this move.
Ran for 5 scores during the regular season. Jim Harbaugh's all pumped up. 2 Packers possessions later in a 7-7 game. Look at James Jones go up and get it.
Man, I don't know what he's been doing, Prime, but he has been coming down with these catches all year. In the absence of Jennings, all the other guys, this guy's been the mainstay.
44 yards on that one. Then next play, DeJuan Harris, the guy who was selling cars in Jacksonville 2 months ago, puts it in drive.
Well, he's going to be buying cars in all season the way he's running the ball.
Not too many, young fella. Not too many, though.
2nd quarter now, Niners punting on 4th down. And remember last year, all the problems the Niners had on special teams in the NFC Championship game. This time it's Jeremy Ross, the guy out of Cal, who fumbles it.
This was huge. This was a huge play. Whenever you have a touchdown or fumble on a special team, it usually changes the whole momentum of the game.
Well, you said it, D. I mean, momentum. This is an enthusiastic, emotional team. They don't need help getting the emotions going.
3rd and goal. It's Michael Crabtree in from 12 yards out. Talk about a complete receiver now.
It seems like ever since Kaepernick took over the helm, Crabtree game has escalated itself.
Now Green Bay's possession in a 14-14 game. Aaron Rodgers throwing it deep downfield, and Terrell Brown, I'll take that, thank you.
What do you call it, Prime?
It's a punt. It's a punt, but you got to make the tackle when he makes the pick.
Yeah, it's going to be a 20-yard punt, Chris.
Right. That's a heck of a punt return then on Green Bay's side of the field. So now 3rd and 9. Kaepernick, what does he do? He's going to keep it himself.
Do what you do.
He does. That's the good news. The bad news is, come on, man, you can't throw the ball. That's taunting.
He's young, he's hyped, he's emotional. First of all, the guy has an armful of tattoos on both arms. What do you expect from him?
All right, so that's a 15-yard penalty, but you know what he makes up for it? Hitting Crabtree again.
This pass here, Chris, Prime. Listen, I wasn't sure the young fella had it in him in the prime time moment. He proved me wrong tonight for sure.
Ensuing Packers possession. DeJuan Harris, I'll just take it for 3 yards. But watch the end of the play with Deshaun Goldson coming in late and helmet first as well, called for unnecessary roughness.
He has a helmet on his head. Yes. If he leads with the shoulder, obviously he's going to catch the opposing guy with a helmet. Let the guys play, please.
No whistle had blown. Good hit.
2 plays later, Rodgers to James Jones, and we've got 21-21.
Aaron Rodgers, same pass that Kaepernick just made. Tight window, squeeze it in there, beautiful.
Remember, Jones led the NFL with 14 receiving touchdowns this year. So next Niners possession under 2 minutes to go. Kaepernick again, rushing it for 18 and a 1st down.
We said what Alex Smith can't do. I'm not sure there's another quarterback in the business that can do it the way this kid does it.
And pressure time for David Akers. Remember, they brought in Billy Cundiff this week. They elected to deactivate Cundiff. Akers kept his job, connects from 36, and the Niners have a 3-point lead going in the half. 3rd quarter now. Pardon me. You guys, hey, I'm trying to work here.
Hey. They doing Thriller in the background?
So now Rodgers to Greg Jennings for 30 yards, up to the Packers' 43.
Hey, that man.
Yeah, but we didn't hear his name quite enough tonight.
The other much maligned kicker in this game, Mason Crosby, from 31 yards out. Gets it in there. So we're tied at 24. Another great game here on Saturday in the NFL. But here come the Niners. Look at
Kaepernick, but Eric Walden. We'll talk about Eric Walden. Young number 7. This boy can run. He's fast. They prey on defenses not doing their job. It's very simple. Here, look at us coming up right here. I love our graphics guys. Eric Walden, you got to stay outside. You got to box him in. It is simple as doing your job. The other backer had that gap you were trying to squeeze into. Young number 7, Kaepernick, he's too fast. If you don't do your job perfect, it's over.
56-yard touchdown run on that. And now up 7, waiting moments of the third. Kaepernick to Crabtree for 16 yards. Don't underestimate that guy's arm either.
And his confidence to throw the ball right now.
3 plays later, Kaepernick to, look at this touch, to Vernon Davis, who beats A.J. Hawk.
I love the pass. I love the catch. But what A.J. Hawk doing? Maybe the fastest guy on the field. I'm not quite sure about that coverage.
Next play, it's Frank Gore taking it right up the gut inside the 5 after a gain of 13. Aaron Rodgers a little bit miffed, saying, hey, somebody give me the ball back. Now on to the 4th. As the teams switch sides, what happens? It's a little chippy here.
Crabtree, you've been balling all night. Get back to the huddle.
And then Frank Gore.
Love the way he presses the hole. 21 reasons, baby.
Beautiful.
Niners are up 38-24. So Green Bay's really got to kick it into high gear at midfield with just under 12 to go. Rodgers intended for Greg Jett. That's the one that could have gotten him back in this one.
You got to have those. Those you got to lay out for me. You just got to have, and you can't miss those passes.
So Green Bay forced to punt. Next Niners possession, Kaepernick, Delaney Walker for 17 and a first down.
Heath was just talking about this guy in the back row. That he's one of the most versatile backs in the game today.
Here's another guy. Frank Gore, he can do everything. 26 yards on that one.
Smart enough not to go out of bounds.
I'm telling you, it's beautiful. Smart player, tough, physical, smooth, everything you want out of your back.
Now 3rd and 15, Kaepernick, Crabtree does a lot of the dirty work here for 14 yards. So they're a yard shy of the first down. Do you kick it? Make it a 17-point lead? No. Jim Harbaugh, I'm going for it. And what happens? B.J. Raji.
You know what this play is called?
The discount double check?
Brainer. No dummy. No brainer. Because you only get the dummies to jump off sides. B.J. Raji, come on, buddy. Not the playoffs.
So next play, it's now Frank Gore. I'll just mush it right up the middle again.
Running angry.
Chains, keep the clock ticking as well. 2 plays later, 2nd and goal, Anthony Dixon.
Bringing the big back.
And he is in.
Barely, but he got in. They take a little look at it, review the play. Forearm, ball was across that white line. Good run by the big back.
Now you can bring out the dance team.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, Ted again.
They are dancing off to the NFC Championship game for the 2nd straight year. If Seattle beats Atlanta on Sunday, this game will be out by the Bay for the 2nd straight year.
Kickoff divisional Sunday after a divisional Saturday left our jaws on the ground. That is Russell Wilson with one more career playoff victory coming into the game than that guy, Matt Ryan. First quarter, Ryan double faking 3rd and 3 to Roddy White. Touchdown, no. Richard Sherman knocks it away.
Nice play by Richard Sherman. That ball was thrown late. It would have been his birthday had it been thrown on time, but great play by the young corner.
Richard Sherman gets the Falcons to settle for a field goal, but the Falcons defense came hard at Russell Wilson early on, got the ball back to the Falcons offense, who turned it over. Matt Ryan is picked off by Bobby Wagner, who steps in front of Tony Gonzalez, who is looking for his first career playoff victory in this game.
These are the plays that would rattle Matt Ryan, and you wouldn't see him recover. But as you watch this highlight, you're going to see Matt Ryan recover from this interception.
First turnover of the game belongs to the Seattle defense. What would Seattle's offense do with it? Marshawn Lynch, who's having trouble holding on to the ball in these playoffs, puts the ball on the ground. Sean Weatherspoon knocks it loose. Justin Babineau recovers.
D-block. That's one thing about Atlanta Falcons. Those young linebackers will get to the ball.
Pete Carroll gives his beast mode an attaboy. What would Ryan do with that mistake? He moved the ball down the field. Huge 3rd and 14 conversion from Ryan to White. Put it in the only spot where White could get it. He corrals it. Next play, Ryan to the other tight end. It looked like Tony Gonzalez, but that was Chase Kaufman who a nice toe tap there,
They're talking
Michael.
about finding the football, locating the football, and look at that toe tap. What a grab. Yeah, maintaining the ball all the way to the ground.
So that looked like Tony Gonzalez. Here, however, is the real McCoy. Play fake, Ryan rolling to his left. There's Tony Gonzalez with a toe tap that we're used to seeing. Touchdown, Falcons up by 2 scores.
And that's how you build a team. Coach Rich, you got a guy like Tony Gonzalez teaching the young guys just how to play football. Doesn't that look like they look like twins right there doing it? That's how you build a team.
Gonzalez's first playoff touchdown catch since 2006.
Buddy.
Marshawn Lynch couldn't get more points on the board. Neither could that offense as the Falcons get the ball back right before the end of the first quarter. And that looked like beast mode. But it was actually Jacquizz Rodgers trucking Earl Thomas.
Looked like a young Michael Turner.
When you say run over a man, this is run over a man. That's just right there. That's setting the tone. You set the tone for your team on what kind of game this is going to be.
Even knocked his own equipment loose underneath the jersey.
Leading with the helmet.
45-yard gain there. Same drive in the second quarter. Ryan throwing deep to Julio Jones, but there's Richard Sherman again to knock
that's
it away.
That's a wonderful play by Sherman right there to run with Julio and then make that play at the last second. What a beautiful job.
13-0 as the Falcons settle for a field goal, and the Seahawks need to get on the board here on 3rd and short. It's Robert Turbin who's stuffed as Lynch is not on the field there. Pete Carroll was trying to call a timeout, maybe to get Lynch back on the field. Lynch does come back on the field in 4th one, but they give it to the up man who is hit by William Moore, who came in free, and Michael Robinson, and the Seahawks don't get the first down and get no points out of the trip to the red zone. Michael Turner, this was the Michael Turner we've been waiting to see all year long.
About the beast, but here is the burner. Michael Turner showed up. Listen, we've been talking about it. We've been talking about they need a run game. Michael Turner provided him a spark today.
33-yard gain, and then 2 plays later, Ryan to Roddy White, who beats Richard Sherman here and lets him know about it directly.
Nice change of direction. You watch this change right there. That means he threw him to a spot to come open, because if they had kept on that same line, Sherman would have had a chance to make a play.
Had a personal battle all game long. It was a building that lived up to the expectation.
Sherman golf clapped him. But I'll tell you what, it's a boat race here, people. 20-0. Seattle getting the ball first in the second half, so they could get a score before the end of the first half. They get the ball back in the beginning of the second half. They might have something going. It's John Abraham, who was questionable coming in, was knocked out of the game, and with no timeouts left on 3rd and goal, Russell Wilson is sacked. And as you can see, time's ticking down. You can't spike the ball.
Horrendous clock
You can't get the field goal unit out there. So you got to maybe try to get it in the end zone, and the snap comes too late. Seattle with 2 trips to the red zone in the first half. No points to show for it. And that would come back to haunt them. Teams leading by 20 or more points are 56-1 in the NFL playoff history. The only one that lost was the Houston Oilers. We saw the Frank Reich 30-year celebration of that just recently. So now here is the first possession of the second half.
And he came out tossing that football, Russell Wilson.
Can't stand this defensive call. You have the safety going over top and going down low with a corner, and the corner going over top, replacing safety. Do what you do.
That was a touchdown, a Golden Tate, 20-7, but the natural comes right back with a nice drive down the field. That is Julio Jones' 21-yard drive. 3 plays later, 21-yard gain. 3 plays later, 3rd and 9, Ryan to Jason Snelling.
What a play by
Got a Jason Snelling block to Tony Gonzalez right there.
That was a snatch between heaven and earth. It's mine, Tony Gonzalez.
2 plays later, it's a shovel pass to Jason Snelling, and that is a touchdown. What a response there.
Well-designed play. Right now, the momentum, right before this drive, the momentum went to Seattle, and Matt Ryan and this offense for the Atlanta Falcons took it right back.
4th quarter we go. It's still a 20-point deficit for Seattle, but they marched down the field to go 2nd and goal. Russell Wilson play fakes to Marshawn Lynch. Everybody bites on that, and it's first name.
Russell.
2nd.
Wilson.
Touchdown. 27-14. It is now a 13-point game. Next Falcons drive. 2nd and 11. Ryan to White up top. Earl Thomas picks it off, sort of the same way that he picked off RG3 last week.
You know, you look at Marcus Trufant, did a great job. Walling Roddy White, making him run up his back, and Earl Thomas picked it off.
That's a turnover the Seahawks needed, and Russell Wilson finds Sidney Rice to 24 yards plus side of the field 2 plays later.
You see the velocity on that throw.
From the Falcons 33, Russell Wilson pressured, flips it out to Robert Turbin, who makes some plays, breaks a tackle, 30-yard gain down to the 3. Next play, 1st and goal from the 3. It's the quarterback, first name, Russell. Last name, Wilson. Flips it to a wide-open Zach Miller in the end zone, and holy smokes, it's a 6-point game. Must point out it is the 6 points they left on the field in the first half right there. Nonetheless, it is a ball game with 9 minutes to go. What can the match will do here? He goes 3 and out for the first time all day. Seattle gets the ball back, down 6 with 8 minutes to go. What would they do with this golden opportunity? Wilson gets it to midfield, play faking, throws deep to Sidney Rice.
Great play by Thomas Dakley right here. Man, you want to talk about clutch, Prime? That is a huge play.
2 plays later from the same spot, 3rd and 10. Wilson looks for Rice, finds him open. Sidney Rice drops it, but it didn't matter anyway because there was a chop block called back in the pocket.
Good call.
And the Seahawks have to punt, and they punt it in the end zone. The Falcons get the ball back from their own 20 moving forward. Roddy White can't grab it on 3rd and 8. The Seahawks defense stands strong again, giving the ball back to their rookie quarterback for one last shot. 2-minute warning hits. After the 2-minute warning, they're right back at midfield. Russell Wilson, with time, steps up. That's Golden Tate, everybody. 19-yard gain down to the 32. Time is ticking down. Seattle with all 3 timeouts remaining. 3 plays later, 3rd and 5 from the 27. Wilson pressured by Sean Witherspoon.
Look at right there.
Gets away.
Can't get him.
Dumps it off to Marshawn Lynch, who's going upfield. He's going downfield. He leaps for the end zone, but he's pushed out of bounds to the 3. It is 34 seconds to go. Russell Wilson with all timeouts to go on 1st and goal. Hands it off to Marshawn Lynch. Gets in the end zone. Ball in the air. Offensive lineman picks it up and in. If there was ruled a fumble, it would have to come out to the spot of the fumble because whoever recovers a fumble must be the fumbler in the last 2 minutes of a game. However, it's ruled a touchdown. I gave you all that just to set the stage for it being a 1-point lead for Seattle. Can Atlanta really blow this at home? Well, this is a big play from the match rule to Harry Douglas. With 18 seconds to go and 2 timeouts left there at midfield. Matt Bryant warming up the leg. He'd warm up on the field later, too. 19 seconds to go. Right from midfield, the match rule to Tony Gonzalez. Well within Matt Bryant's range. 13 seconds to go. They call timeout.
Sitting that 88 guy right there makes that play.
And they bring Bryant out for the win. 49 yards away. There's a timeout called. Bryant swings his leg anyway, and it's wide right. Pete Carroll saying, what was that all about?
Why would he say what was changed? And he is the one who called a timeout.
The second time, would it be the charm? Brian got it. 8 seconds to go. Atlanta gets the lead 30-28. Don't take your pack off yet, Pete. There's still a kickoff to go. Of course, you're going to kick it deep. Why not kick it out of the end zone and get a touchback? They squib it, but right to the special teams of the Seattle Seahawks. With 2 timeouts left, maybe Ryan Longwell, who didn't kick for anybody this season, was brought in just this week because Stephen Hauschka was on IR. Maybe he could kick the game winner, but for some reason, Russell Wilson dumps it off once and is forced to go to the end zone on a Hail Mary. And who brings it down? Julio. And that finally wraps this exciting, exhilarating, too close for comfort for Atlanta.
Unbelievable.
Divisional playoff win for Mike Smith, his first. Tony Gonzalez, his first. Tears in his eyes as they advance to the NFC Championship game at home next week against the San Francisco 49ers as the Seahawks' fabulous 2012 season, the rookie campaign of Russell Wilson, a dream come true for Seahawks fans, comes up just short, even though they had the lead for 15 fleeting seconds in the Georgia Dome in the fourth quarter today. Tom Brady and the Patriots taking on the Houston Texans. J.J. Watt trying to fire up the crew, at least get a far different result than the one that went down in week number 14. And the opening kickoff, things looked hunky-dory. There is Daniel Manning out the gate until McCourty runs him down, and that was a crucial running down because 2 plays later, Matt Schaub comes out on 2nd and 7. And he flicks it to James Casey incomplete.
James Casey, we've talked about this. Other guys stepping up, making plays at this point. Casey loses a great opportunity.
In and out of his hands. And then the next play, Schaub to Andre Johnson. Johnson's open.
And now Schaub missed that.
Wow. You can't let those opportunities go by. And Gillette, when you've got them, you have to settle for a field goal. What would the Patriots do? Brady up to Rob Gronkowski, who grabs it. He's out of bounds. He comes down, lands on that surgically repaired broken forearm and wrist, and he would leave the game. And reports say he will leave the postseason needing surgery once again on that broken arm. Gronk done for the day and reportedly again for the postseason. How would the Patriots move on? Well, Brady goes down. There is J.J.
What you gonna do when he comes for you?
Gonna get to him this time.
Brady, 1st and 10 here. Hands off to Stephen Ridley. Takes it to midfield. And then here is Brady to it's Shane Vereen. Well, with Danny Woodhead suffering an early injury, Vereen was the next man up, and then Vereen is the next man in. Touchdown. 7-3 New England as Vereen scampers in.
They have so many backs that can run the football, catch the football, and pass protect.
Second quarter, Alabama. 7-3 still. Brady flips it to Wes Welker over the middle 30-yard gain.
Some Wes Welker. It seems as though no one in the NFL can cover this guy. Consistently 100 catches every year.
Next play, here's Vereen. 34, runs for 22, down to the Texans 30. 3 plays later, 7th play of the drive, Brady to Brandon Lloyd, incomplete, and then he's called for unsportsmanlike conduct on the play because he fires the ball at the rim.
You can't do that to the officials.
That's 15 yards. Moving back, Stephen Gostowski, however, splits the uprights to make it a 7-point lead. Play fake, Brady next possession.
He ain't getting none of those.
Wes Welker. 47 yards to the Texans 8.
He just does what he does, man. And he's a small guy. You talk about Wes not being able to play on the outside. That's the guy on the outside using his body to protect him, just like I did against you, Rich.
Yes, you did. 59th postseason reception. That's a franchise record. And then Brady on the next play flips it to Shane Vereen, walking in all by himself. 17-3, ensuing kickoff. Why do we show it to you?
Either a big player or boo-boo.
Well, it's a little bit of both because there's the big play by Manning and then the boo-boo by Gostowski.
It's really not a boo-boo.
Kickers are horse collar tacklers, too.
Whenever a kicker can get a man down, good for him.
Next play, Arian Foster has been held down to this point. Runs free. 23, runs for 21, down to the Patriots 26. Next play, Foster for 19, beginning to get ahead of steam here, Mark.
And, man, once this running game for the Houston Texans get going, it's hard to stop them.
And then 3rd and goal, needing a touchdown here. Can't settle for another field goal. Foster does get it across. Further review, play stood as called. It does seem that with one extra push there, he does break the plane. Touchdown, Arian Foster, even though he needed a little bit of body language on the review to do so. It's 17-10. Brady before the end of the half. Normally this is easy points for him to get down the field, but he's 3 and outed. Got to get off the field. Schaub with a couple timeouts to work with now.
Play by Houston.
Schaub flips this one to the plus side of the field to Owen Daniels, 11 yards. Down to the Patriots 42. Shane Graham warming. 7 ticks left in the half. Schaub to Owen Daniels over the middle. Right around Graham's line of that CBS figures is his range, and out comes Shane Graham, 55-yard field goal. This would set a postseason record for the building, and Graham
Got it. That's 10 points in about 75 seconds for the Houston Texans to get back in this football game.
17-13 at the half. Schaub is pumping fists, running to the locker room, but then they had to come out of the locker room.
Yep.
Third quarter. Brady's first possession. No Gronk. You got Hernandez. Why is Glover Quinn on the ground?
Gronk went right at him. He attacked his technique, went right at him, ran into him, and ran out of his route.
Or ran over him.
Yes, he did.
Aaron Hernandez. Is this legal?
You attack the man.
Is this legal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, in Michael Irvin's book is legal.
Yes, it is. It's legal.
No, just wait. They'll call it.
2 plays later, Stephen Ridley with Vereen already twice in the end zone. Here's Ridley in the end zone now, ridleying that Texans defense. It's 24-13. Texans get the ball back. Schaub to Owen Daniels. Look out. Ball on the turf.
I'm going to tell you right now.
But the referees say that the forward progress had been stopped.
They better get out of the way. We have good games. Get out of the way, refs.
Say forward progress has been stopped.
Get out.
That's not viewable.
Well, you got to give them one bad call. They do a great job other than that.
Texans get the ball back.
Ain't going to get a check.
And then on 3rd and 16, Schaub to Andre Johnson, moving chains. That's a nice throw.
Johnson just continues to make plays when everybody knows he's the only weapon that they have on the outside.
Now, plus side of the field, Schaub picked off by Ninkovich.
BGT.
No. Where was he throwing this football?
Turnover.
The guy was wide open when he was throwing too.
Yeah, man, nobody wasn't wide open, man.
It was a bad read.
He hit Ninkovich. He was
wide open.
Can't have turnovers like that, and the Patriots take advantage with Stephen Ridley up the gut, 23 yards. Next play, Tom Brady to Brandon Lloyd making a move, 31-13, 40th career postseason touchdown pass for Brady. Third player in NFL history with 40 or more. And just when you think the boat race is on, fourth quarter we go.
Chad gonna play next year.
And in the fourth quarter, it's 4th down and 1. You got to go for it. All those points down. Arian Foster hit.
Great second effort.
Aqib Talib, and he flips over Talib. Bill Belichick's got a red challenge flag in his sock. He challenges it, but it stood as called. Move the chains. 3rd and 9 now. That's Walter, first down.
Man, now that's making plays. Other guys are making plays on that football.
He didn't quite get there.
It sure looked like he did, but they say 4th down. He sort of fumbled the ball over it, so Kubiak's got to go for it again on 31-13. What's the play call?
They lost me right there,
Schaub.
Now, talk to him, Marshall.
They lost me right there. Our identity is our identity, regardless if it's 13-31. I don't care. You run the football on 4th and 1.
So Brady gets the ball back. What a play. Shane Vereen. That's a running back out of the backfield. Shane Vereen. And Belichick, who's talking to the defense at the time, looks up and sees what happened on the scoreboard.
This is what we do.
We're back to business with the defense. And the defense gets back on the field, 38-13. Schaub play faking, throwing it to the end zone. And there was a juggled catch in the end zone, and it is ruled incomplete, but there's a challenge flag. You can see that's a touchdown.
A game of inches. Look at that right there. What a beautiful play by Posey. Keeping his focus, making that play, taking that.
Nice touchdown by Posey. 18 points now with the Texans getting the ball back. That's a catch by Walters and a first down. And add on 15 more yards.
Go crazy.
And now you're inside the 5 on 4th and goal. There's Arian Foster.
One-on-one with a linebacker. I take that matchup any day. He put that Marshall Faulk on it.
They go for 2, get it. Now they go on sides. Ball's loose. This was the last best chance for the Texans. If they were able to hop on this onside kick, we might have had something late in the game in terms of making it more interesting than it was.
Really.
But instead, Whitney Merciless can hang on, and a merciful ending to the game happens eventually with a 41-28 final score.
Niners traveling across country. Michael Crabtree, legal issues during the middle of the week. Starting in this game, though, Kaepernick on the biggest stage he's going to see. Matt Ryan playing in the biggest game of his life. Biggest Falcons home game in franchise history. Matt Ryan looked great in the first half. Hits Roddy White there for 16 yards. First half, this was the first drive of the game, guys, and we were surprised as to how effective they were against the Niners offense.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen the 49er defense look a little shell-shocked. I mean, they didn't have any answers for Julio Jones.
DB, what happened on Julio Jones
I'm confused as to what coverage they were running because the safety's sitting short. The corner comes off. It was like, okay, you got him. No, I don't have him. But then when the ball goes over your head, it's like, all right, who did have him? Who was supposed to? But it looked like a busted coverage to me, or the safety was being a little bit too aggressive.
Wouldn't be the first time Julio Jones left him looking for answers. 46 yards on that touchdown and 7-0. Colin Kaepernick gets the football back, comes downfield, and Thomas Deku.
This was just like last week's game. They came out and played great football on both sides of the football in the first 30 minutes.
Okay, so Falcons defense sets them up with good field position, and then Julio Jones again is taking it away from Niners, looking like he was a pro playing against college kids.
Yeah, he took over this game. I mean, great throw, but an unbelievable catch. And listen, the 49ers secondary, they're one of the best secondaries in the entire league. So to see them get dismantled by this guy is impressive.
It was 10-0 after a field goal on that drive. Julio Jones had over 100 yards in the first quarter, and then the crowd gets into it, and the Falcons pass rush will drop him. Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, the former head coach of the 49ers, liking what he was seeing there. So Jim Harbaugh, Frank Gore talking it over here. Second quarter, Falcons with it after they changed sides.
Can I just get in on this? Do you see the protection?
I was just going to throw you that ball.
This is an unbelievable throw. Tom, I don't want to overshadow this catch either because it's unbelievable, but man, all day long.
Tommy, tell me about the control here.
It's just unbelievable, the fact that he's so big and so strong and so poised and so athletic that he could not only go up and catch that football, but tap his toes. Actually, got the ground 3 times.
Yeah, third one down. So 17-0, and you're figuring the Falcons are going to the Super Bowl for only the second time in their history. A lot of football still to be played, though. And how about a key answering drive that they had to have here?
This was huge, and this goes back to Harbaugh and his coaching decisions. The fact that they did not panic. A lot of teams down by this many points want to just put the ball in the air. They had a heavy dose of Frank Gore. They try to control the clock, settle down that defense, let that defense rest, but also settle down that offense and say, we're going to do what we do best, and that's run the football.
And the read option puts LaMichael James into the end zone for a 15-yard touchdown, so it was a 10-point game. Niners defense comes back out, forces a punt. Dante Whitner threatening, Jacquizz Rodgers right there for the incomplete pass. So the ensuing Niner drive, Kaepernick, Vernon Davis.
Hitting that ball in tight windows. I tell you, this kid's arm strength is unbelievable.
It's what we saw last week from Russell Wilson as well. Functioning inside the pocket. Here he breaks contain and actually makes plays with his legs.
But it was the only run of the day.
That longest one, sure. Yeah.
He functions so well inside that pocket today.
And then Niners fans have been wondering, where has Vernon Davis been? Vernon Davis was here today.
He was huge. Made some big plays. And you know what? Colin Kaepernick, you mentioned it. I think there had to have been some pressure on him to say, you know what, I've got to do what I did last week, and everybody's expecting me to run for all these yards. He didn't put that pressure on himself. He didn't force anything. He made the plays that were there for him to make. He got the ball into the playmaker's hands.
Those plays, obviously good scouting right there because the Falcons defense not prepared for Vernon Davis.
Great play calling and a great job by Jim Harbaugh and his offensive staff getting his guys ready to play and not panicking when they got behind early.
And I'm sure in that meeting room that Coach Harbaugh has sat down with Kaepernick and explained these situations to him and said, okay, this game might kind of work out this way. You know, it's not a time to panic. You know, just play your game. Just certain things, nuances of the game from him having played that position that you really can't get from any other type of coach.
Well, we're watching the Falcons answer here right here because they come back down, and you figured it was a 3-point game. Here comes the Falcons crumble. Not so much. Matt Ryan, the Tony Gonzalez, the touchdown extends the lead again to 10 points going into the half.
Later.
It would happen because look at the score now, 24 points for the Falcons, and we start the second half. The Niners open up with the football, and what would they do? Bang, 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 down the field.
Look at it, straight from the pocket, throwing the intermediate routes, tight ends involved. Randy Moss played a large role.
And then they cap it off with the run, as they did with LaMichael James before Frank Gore.
It changes the momentum and gives them hope going forward, and also it sets a little doubt in the minds of that Falcons team.
Then we had the Niners defense come back and make we saw Matt Ryan throw an interception at a key time last week against Seattle. It didn't ultimately cost them. This one, though, averts a scoring drive and keeps the Falcons blanked so far in the second half. Kaepernick comes back right around midfield. That finds Vernon. You know what? Speed ball when he needs it, and then the touch when he needs it.
Because he saw the matchup in having Vernon Davis matched up with a linebacker that cannot cover. Great read by Kaepernick going to the right receiver on that play.
Even still, they come in, and then you see that Asante Samuel, former Philadelphia Eagle, a little chatter with David Akers, former Philadelphia Eagle.
A lot of green there.
And he stoinks it off the left upright.
We've seen this a lot this year. I thought it was questionable that Jim decided to stick with him going into the postseason.
Took a look at Billy Cundiff, the former Ravens kicker, but they stick with Akers here, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl with Akers. That's something we'll be talking about for the next 2 weeks. Michael Turner getting a little medical attention on the sideline. Falcons get the football back, though, still with the lead. They're up by 3, and then Jason Snelling converts on a 2nd and short for
I don't
a first
think this
down.
hurts them dramatically, not having Michael Turner with Jaquez Rogers and with Snelling in there, 2 very capable backs.
That hurts, though.
That does.
A silly turnover.
And it always comes down to a couple mistakes that usually determine the outcome of the game. This drive right here, the one before the interception, I tell you, taking points off of the board, not allowing your offense to stay on the field, getting the ball back to this guy.
So it's very unnatural of him.
I knew you were going to work that in there. Okay, 3rd and 7, incomplete pass. Guys, what do we think of the personal foul?
Hogwash.
Now,
it's part of the rules.
It is part of the rules, especially when you get part of the face mask as well. You got the helmet, which is all you need for the penalty.
It wasn't a that was a glance.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly going to hurt Kaepernick, but it was a 15-yard penalty.
Zebra, you don't want to affect the outcome of the game. Let them play.
Same drive, we flip the field to start the 4th quarter. The Niners down by 3. Michael Crabtree with a catch to put him into the red zone. On 2nd and goal, Colin Kaepernick looking left side, Crabtree.
Get out.
Wow,
We thought this might have been the play of the game here.
Play.
DB comes in and strips it.
You know, at this point, as a receiver, you want to just get down, but it's great for the defenders to attack the football. Great play by Dante Robinson. Yanking that ball out. I tell you what,
Great presence.
defending every blade of grass.
All right, so Dante Robinson strips
Even
it.
if it's fake
Crabtree has
grass.
to under, even if it was fake grass.
This drive was huge right here, Scott.
Okay, so, the Falcons need breathing room at first, but on 3rd and 6, they get enough to get the punt away, but they don't get a first down. Sets up good field position for the Niners. They come back down the field. 3rd and short, they hand up. They went with that jumbo formation a couple of times and pounded it on 3rd and short. Then they go back out to Crabtree. He's inside of the 10-yard line here. 1st and goal, San Francisco.
I just like the way they...
It just reeks of efficiency, doesn't it?
How they massage the defense, if you know what I mean. They spread you out. They spread you out. They hit you straight up the middle. They spread you out. They do so many ways to attack you, and that's really makes your defense.
Okay, Matt Ryan takes a shot. Had Julio Jones between 2 defenders there. Ball hung up a little bit, though, and was it Goldson made it, or actually Brown makes the play on it.
Usually makes so. Goes up and catches that ball at the highest
around it.
That's a better play by Terrell Brown, getting that ball out.
3rd and 4, they come back to Jones to move the sticks. Okay, clock is running. Matt Ryan's had 7 game-winning drives so far this season. And this was one of the plays of the game and maybe the most controversial call of the playoffs. Harry Douglas ruling on the field a catch, and the replay, fellas?
You know what? It looks like the ball moves a bit, but they said his hand did not come off the football, so he's still secure.
Obviously,
that's a close call.
Who lost the challenge on
you
that
can
one?
tell.
Yeah, I think we got that right there.
Not happy.
The drive continues. The drama builds. We're at the 2-minute warning. They got to get a touchdown to win the game or take the lead. They throw underneath. Jason Snelling fighting for yards. Now it's 3rd down.
And the San Francisco Pro Bowl linebackers come to play when they need them most right here.
Very good point. So, okay, 3rd down. They take a timeout. They come back out. 3rd and 4. Matt Ryan rolls right, throws right, ball batted away. 4th down, and the season could come down to this.
Well, he looks like he's hurting right there from that big hit. You can tell.
Strange decision.
Strange play call there because the route wasn't deep enough to get the first down.
I'm with you, Sean. Obviously, Roddy White, Julio Jones, not bad choices, but maybe in that situation, Tony Gonzalez would be a good choice. But either way, regardless, you have to get beyond the first down marker.
Okay, so we were doing that. Now we're calculating timeouts and yardage and whatnot. And Darren, you called it. You said they'd get the ball with about 20 seconds or less left to play. Indeed, they did. 6 seconds. They got to go to the end zone, but if Ryan's elbow or shoulder was hurting, that's as much mustard as apparently he could get on the ball.
And people might not notice that run by Frank Gore, why it was so big, because it took more seconds off the clock. You give him another chance, that could be another Hail Mary opportunity. You don't know what can happen, but those seconds are so precious, especially in a situation when you're trying to seal the deal and close the game out, especially against Matt Ryan.
Okay. 28-24, the final. The Niners go into the Super Bowl for the 6th time in franchise history.
AFC Championship game in Gillette, prior to which we saw Bob Kraft making pizzas in the parking lot.
That's a good man right there. I like him, man.
A windy day in Foxborough after Jim had made it.
Hey, Jim, congratulations. You did it. You're a great coach.
So it was up to John to make this a brotherly love Super Bowl, as Ray Lewis is, as we all know, on a game-by-game basis right now. That was him during the national anthem. First drive of the game, 2 minutes into the game. Tom Brady on 3rd and short going over the middle. Wes Welker.
These are opportunities you cannot miss in a game of this magnitude. I know the wind had a little something to do with the pass play, but you can't miss those opportunities.
So next play, 4th and 2, going to punt, but that's Ryan Mallett. That's the backup quarterback now. Is this like a Tebow situation?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Is this the Tebow package they're running? No, it's just something I guess to have the Ravens call timeout. They made them burn a timeout. A fake punt. The genius at work right there.
Nice.
Fake punt. So they finally punt it away. The Ravens punt it back. Patriots' second possession of the game. Now on the plus side of the field, Brady over the middle. That is a nice grab by Brandon Lloyd in his AFC Championship game appearance, first for the Patriots. Now 3 plays later, we're quick snapping everybody. There's Stephen Ridley. Stopped on 3rd and short.
Ravens' run defense was pretty good today. I mean, they did a great job. Gave up a couple of big runs, but for the most part, they contained the fast break run game.
Stephen Gostkowski with the field goal, and then the Ravens get the ball back, and on 3rd and long, Aqib Talib pulls up lane. This was the last play of the game for him, Dion. It was a different situation after
It seems as he pulled a hamstring, and that happens sometime late in the season when you're not used to bursting like that.
So the Talib was done for the day. Second quarter in this game, it is still 3-0. Mere seconds into the second quarter, Joe Flacco over the middle to Dennis Pitta.
They found Pitta a couple times over the middle. The cornerbacks outside would not let the receivers off that jam. The Pitta got loose.
Big 3rd down conversion. 6 plays later, Flacco to Torrey Smith over the middle.
Just look at how he's driving the ball through the wind.
I
mean, he was throwing some balls extremely hard.
4 plays later, Ray Rice running. Touchdown.
That was a Marshall Faulk type cut. 1-on-1 in the hole. Linebacker has to make that play.
13 plays, 90 yards, 551. Patrick Chung is down. That's half the secondary that is now injured for the Patriots right now. Patriots back on offense. On the plus side of the field, here's Wes Welker off the screen.
Love to meet some of us.
24 yards into the red zone. 4 plays later, it's 3rd and goal. 10th play of the drive. And what do they do here, Michael?
Man, they have some beautifully designed plays the Patriots did all day long. And right here, it's another beautifully designed play. They pick Wes Welker right there in the corner for the touchdown. Great job.
Awkward high fives all around with Gronkowski in the owner's box right there. So the Patriots answer right back. They're up by 3. And then Flacco taken down by Rob Ninkovich, who has come on strong in late weeks. Ravens forced to punt. Patriots next possession. 2 minutes left in the half. Normally this is Brady time, and here he is picking him up, putting him down, and he runs into the umpire. At least he didn't butt fumble there.
It cost him at least 2 yards there.
You got to hit the ball.
Buck 26 to go in the half. 3rd and 3. Danny Woodhead. It's Woodhead for 2 yards. Woodhead for 2 yards.
Theismann Woodhead did a great job there, Joe.
Going for it on 4th and 1, and this is the situation of football that the Patriots do so well. Just a practice play where direct snappage to Woodhead. Moving the chains.
That was a good play, man.
It was a good play, good way, because Baltimore, like Marshall said, they were playing the run. You had to try other things to get that ball moving.
34 ticks to go, 3rd and 10 on the Ravens 27. Brady to Aaron Hernandez, 17 yards. On Paul Kruger, that's an easy gimme matchup for the Patriots there.
I mean, you flushed Brady outside the pocket, but you forced him right into where he wanted to throw the ball anyway.
26 ticks to go on 1st and goal. Brady rolling out here. He slides down, and as you can see here,
that should have been a penalty.
The clock. Normally, the Patriots are far better in these situations where they either get up to quickly spike it or call timeout. Instead, they don't quick spike it. They finally do call timeout, but with not enough time left to run another play in the half.
That was Tom being greedy. You spike it, you try to score. He wanted both of those downs. He wanted an attempt on 2nd and an attempt on 3rd to score the touchdown.
Instead, it's just a field goal they settled for. Up 6 in the second half now after the Ravens can't score in their first possession. 3rd and 7. A big Welker drop.
Big drop by Wes Welker.
Now, they were hitting these guys all day, and you knew the effects of all day being hit will take its toll.
Well, after that drop, Old Mo put on a purple helmet as Dennis Pitta moves the chains here on 2nd and 10. 2 plays later, Flacco to Ray Rice running. Ravens from Rutgers. Run. First down. Aqib Talib can only sit there and watch trying to stay warm as 5 plays later, first and goal. 9th play of the drive, Flacco to Dennis Pitta. Look out. Gerard Mayo decleats him. No flag.
Yeah.
It's a clean hit.
That's bang, bang. That's defenseless receiver.
And he led with his shoulder.
No penalties called. We got a lot of tweets saying that Bernard Pollard did that. There'd be a flag. Anyway, no worse than whereas the Ravens do score. Dennis Pitta right there. Flacco to Pitta. Touchdown. Flacco and the Ravens take the lead.
And those are perfect plays. A lot of talk about Flacco. Is he elite? That's an elite type of a throw.
Well, he's sneaky elite.
This one right
Sneaky
here.
elite. What about that throw to Torrey Smith getting the ball back still up 1?
Man.
Now with 2.5 to go in the third quarter, 3rd and 2. This young man, Bernard Pierce, has come on strong, Marshall.
Great change of pace back. And I always say this, until I get to see him play every down, when Ray Rice leaves the game, the defense, they take a deep breath.
And that's a first down right there. We're now in the 4th quarter. Ravens start the 4th quarter. First play of the 4th quarter from inside the 5. Flacco to Anquan Bolden.
Come in, man. You ever talked about a tweet going out and when will it show up? It started showing up because Flacco was putting that ball in the air and Anquan snatched it down.
8-point lead for the Ravens. What will the Patriots do? Here's Stephen Ridley. And would you believe it? The man that blew up Tom Brady and Wes Welker's knee blows up Stephen Ridley on that play. Bernard Pollard, and just before his butt hits the turf, the ball comes loose on his own knee. That is a fumble. Play stood as called. Ridley done for the day. Ravens get the ball on the turnover, and what do they do with that turnover? Flacco right to Torrey Smith again.
Man, you got to respect Torrey Smith's speed. You must respect his speed.
And you've got to respect Joe Flacco's speed. He's escaping. You got to contain.
Rich people forget that Joe Flacco is a mobile quarterback.
14 yards, 2 plays later, 4th play of this drive. It's Flacco.
Can you say rich people or rich
to
people?
Anquan Bolden again.
Michael, that was one of those throws you were talking about.
I
Flacco,
trust you.
exactly.
I trust you.
Make a play for me.
Don't worry about it. I may not need to throw this, but get this ball anyway, and he did.
It's a 15-point lead. Brady throwing this one to the sideline of Brandon Lloyd for 12 yards. Moving the chains now inside the red zone. Brady. Shane Vereen drops it.
Yeah. I'd be scared too. After watching somebody just get knocked out, I'd be a little afraid too to catch that ball.
So now here's Brady with 8.5 to go in the game, having to go for it from inside the red zone for a touchdown. Brady thinks about running for it.
You run right there.
Can't pick it up with his feet, throws it, and it's incomplete.
That play there is within question.
Brady has never outrun anybody in his life.
Not at least 360.
But talking about the Ravens, they threw the ball twice in the next set of downs, only took 1 single minute off the clock. Give the ball back to Tom Brady with 7.5 to go, and he's quenching his thirst. And now he's finding Wes Welker wide open over the middle. And looky here. Here come the Patriots right back on the cusp of the red zone, just like that. But would you believe,
Great move by Welker.
Next play, Brady throwing over the middle. It is a tip ball by Pernell McPhee right to Dan Ellerby, and I am a rhyming fool. Take a look at the play that essentially ends the last best hope for the Patriots, down 15.
And when you see the Patriots play bad, things like this happen in games. It happened against Buffalo at times. Just the unlucky things of the game that normally don't happen to the Patriots, they happen today.
And then the Ravens ran out the clock. Here's Vontae Leach up the middle. Patriots would begin to burn timeouts.
They're just physical, man. They were just physical. They out physical the Patriots right here.
And Ray Lewis will not go gently into that good New England night. They come back and avenge last year's AFC Championship game loss. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl quarterback. Steve Bisciotti is a Super Bowl owner of the Baltimore Ravens. One went away from getting his first title as the full-fledged owner of the Baltimore Ravens, hugging Ray Lewis, who has a chance to go off into retirement a la Elway, a la the Bus, a la Strahan, with a Super Bowl victory. The Baltimore Ravens are champions of the American Football Conference, handing the New England Patriots their very first ever home loss in AFC Championship game history. Here is how it all went down on Super Sunday. John and Jim Harbaugh exchanging pleasantries before the game. Jack and Jackie Harbaugh, mom and dad and mom watching the game high above the stadium. Ray Lewis reacting to the emotional America the Beautiful with the Sandy Hook Elementary School's choir performing, and Colin Kaepernick got the ball first as the Ravens deferred, and what ended up happening was they stopped the 49ers and Kaepernick, then got the ball, matriculated down the field, and on third down and offsides gave the Ravens another shot at third down inside the red zone, and this time Flacco did not miss. Anquan Bolden right there.
This was a great route. The linebacker thought he was coming underneath. He's kept it straight up the field. Great route, great throw.
Ravens draw first blood 7-0. Next Niners possession. Kaepernick on 2nd and 11. Michael Crabtree, nice catch and run.
That is a nice catch and run by Crabtree. Crabtree made some plays, had a big drop today.
And
on Ray Lewis. They were attacking Ray Lewis over the middle of the field right there. That's just the starter. Vernon Davis attacked him. Crabtree attacked him.
And here's the aforementioned Vernon Davis attacking. A wide open Vernon Davis streaking inside the 10-yard line, 24-yard gain. And Ed Reed appears to have injured his knee. He said afterwards that he sprained his MCL on this play.
He did, but the Ed Reed I know is not going to come out of that game.
Certainly not in his hometown stadium. 2nd and goal. Kaepernick flings it, and it goes off of Crabtree's hands and almost into the hands of Randy Moss. So the Niners on 3rd and goal now. Paul Kruger making a big play. So a big defensive stop for the Ravens in the red zone. San Francisco, they've been getting touchdowns in those situations.
This game is all about third downs, and you have to convert third downs in big games.
They have to settle for a field goal. Speaking of converting third downs, looked like Flacco was throwing this away, but the first wow play of the game, Flacco to Anquan Bolden right there, a 30-yard reception. And 3 plays later, 3rd and 13, Flacco is sacked. So the Niners with a big play right there, as Baltimore has to punt in this situation, keeping it 7-3, and that's how the Harbaugh brothers reacted to that single play. Let's go to the second quarter now. Next Niners possession. It's still 7-3 Baltimore. 5th play of this drive, right outside the Ravens red zone, and LaMichael James with the big first turnover of the night.
Count him, Rich. That's the second mistake right there. You have a penalty that leads to a touchdown, and now you have a turnover on a key possession when you're about to go in.
Courtney Upshaw creates the fumble. Arthur Jones recovers it. Yes, Jim, that was very difficult for him to believe right there as Tom Rathman speaks to one of his charges. So what would the Ravens do with the first turnover of the night? They would move it down the field. Ed Dixon with a nice juggle grab on Terrell Brown. 2 plays later at the 22, Flacco for Dixon again, and Dante Whitner grabs him by the face mask, so lots of laundry comes out on the field to move it half the distance to the goal. That would be the 4-yard line, and then 2 plays later, Flacco to Dennis Pitta in the end zone to convert the turnover into 7 points.
This was a great throw by Flacco right here, and a great route by Pitta. Looked like Pitta fooled everybody like he was going to the corner and hooked right back up, and a dart by Flacco for the touchdown.
So it's 14-3 now. Next Niners possession. Colin Kaepernick makes a mistake we haven't seen since his first possession at the postseason.
Yeah, he's been pretty good with the football, Rich. I mean, right here, that ball just sailed on him.
Yeah, I don't like Marshall, I would like to have seen Randy Moss at least jump up for that ball to kind of distract Ed Reed there.
He wasn't close to that ball, Mike. I know what you're saying, but that thing was even close.
I mean, then hats were thrown, helmets come off. Bottom line is, that was Ed Reed's 9th career postseason interception, ties him for most all-time in that department. And then what a big surprise this was, the aforementioned first ever fake field goal in Super Bowl history, but Justin Tucker on 4th and 9 comes up with just 8. So instead of going up by 2 touchdowns, it's still 14-3.
I was okay. Go ahead.
One great player away from that play working. Had not it been Patrick Willis, that play would have been successful.
Great job of Patrick Willis.
Instead, keep that in your mind's eye as Kaepernick almost throws a pick 6 there with his back against his own goal line, and the Ravens got the ball back in quality field position right around midfield. 3rd and 10 with less than 2 minutes to go. First play after the 2-minute warning. Flacco to Jacoby Jones wide open.
Great pocket presence. You see Flacco's footwork. He's not known as a real mobile quarterback, but he has great pocket presence. He stepped up in the pocket and delivered a nice ball.
Great 4 pump by Jacoby Jones right there.
And he was not done in the big play department on the night, as this was a 21-3 lead for the Ravens, and the Ravens getting the ball first in the second half. That would be huge for the Niners to get at least a field goal before the half, which they did. Beyonce came out. She was spectacular. 21-6 is your score. Here is the opening kick after the Beyonce concert, and it's Jacoby Jones, 8 yards deep in the end zone, bursting free, and he is gone.
He's thinking about his dance right now. He's thinking about he's like, y'all, stay back.
Sugar. That's what Sugar had just rubbed the hands on him.
You did the Sugar Ray Squirrel right there. 28-6, longest kick return in Super Bowl history, tying his own mark of the longest kick return in history of any game, regular season or postseason. And everybody on the Ravens bench loves it, and Jim Harbaugh is bumming not the way he wanted to start the second half. But over to the next possession, the 49ers have 2 plays into it.
Turn out
the lights go out.
Somebody put a plug.
And light a can.
35-minute power outage delay.
Somebody call it Buffalo Wild Wings.
And Jerome Boger, the referee, talking to some officials, and basically everybody just chilling.
Rich, that's what happens when Beyonce leaves the field.
Yeah, she took all the energy with her out of the building. And John, I mean, everyone, the wave starts going, and everybody's trying to remain calm and trying to stay focused.
And the crowd handled it well, Rich.
Well, yeah, nobody
they handled it well.
Absolutely.
What else they gonna do?
28-6 is your score after the power outage. Here comes Kaepernick to Vernon Davis right there to the Ravens' 31-yard line, and then Kaepernick throwing to Michael Crabtree, and Bernard Pollard and Kerry Williams just bounce off of.
What a play.
They don't wrap up, and it's a 28-13 game, and the energy now was restored to the crowd.
And right there, you saw the rhythm that Kaepernick got into, and the plays were called, and they just started making plays.
And the defense got into rhythm too, as Ahmad Brooks on a blitz. They brought an extra rusher, which they really don't do too often. That's an 8-yard loss, a 3 and out for the Ravens offense. Next play, Ravens punting. It was a sort of a knuckleball out of Sam Cook, and then Ted Ginn takes that 32 yards. Suddenly now, the Niners are setting up shop in the red zone. And 2 plays later, they're inside the 10 at the 6 of the Ravens, to be specific. And what a neat, designed, and executed play this is.
Man, I mean, they really sealed the edge, got a good chop block on Ed Reed, and it was a race to the corner between Frank Gore
and I guess that's
and Ray Lewis.
That's Gore Kaepernicking there, and Haloti Ngata hurt his knee on this play as they blew everybody up on this play on the offensive line, and Delaney Walker, and that would be it for Haloti Ngata's night, and that's a huge
big-time
loss on that defensive line. Next Ravens possession, Ray Rice,
Just a great play by the defensive back right there. Got his hands right on the ball as Ray Rice tried to stiff arm him and got that ball out.
And that's Terrell Brown with the knocked loose, and he recovered it himself. The 3rd lost fumble of the postseason for Ray Rice, who rarely does that at any time of his career. And now David Akers comes out as they're forced to settle for a field goal, and there's a little bit of the yips that we've seen out of David Akers of late, except for the fact that Chikey Brown is called for running into the kicker.
I don't know about that, man.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
Did he hit him?
No.
Did he touch him?
That was some good action.
Great action. Yeah.
So now it's another shot for Akers, and this is a mulligan, or player B, as I like to call myself on the golf course. And player B is usually better than player A.
Always.
And that one was going through the uprights, and it's a 5-point game all of a sudden. Ravens next possession, 3rd down. Big play here as Flacco finds Bolden, who gets some serious yak. 30-yard gain.
What a physical player
he is. It's a grown man.
Somebody daddy out there.
He runs into you and makes plays.
Over 1 hour, the nuttiest 3rd quarter in Super Bowl history took us to the 4th. And in the 4th, on 3rd and goal, Flacco buying time with his legs, throws it out of bounds.
Listen,
they have to settle for the field goal.
I know
here.
Flacco wasn't elite until after this game, but that's a penalty.
Getting hit right there.
He hit Brady or Manning like that.
That is a penalty.
They might have ejected him.
So the Ravens settle for the field goal, and they're up by 8 again. Next to Niners possession, there's Randy Moss, 32-yard gain. Next play at the 39, the inconvenient truth running downhill for a run that is as far as his number on his back, 21 yards. 2 plays later, 2nd and 7 inside the red zone, and Colin Kaepernick sets the record for the longest touchdown run by a quarterback in Super Bowl history, previously held by Joe Montana. Touchdown, Colin Kaepernick. Is a 2-point game.
Sapp called that.
And on the 2-point conversion, Kaepernick looking for Randy Moss. What do you think of this?
Oh, no, but I mean, if you're going to throw to Randy, let's throw a fade.
So
you know it's let's throw a fade.
It's 31-29.
Not a slant.
What do the Ravens do now with 8:30 to go in the Super Bowl? Flacco to Torrey Smith, but it's pass interference on Chris Culliver.
That kid played hard all night.
Yes, he did.
He played hard. I got a lot of respect for him.
3 plays later, after Jim Harbaugh challenged a Bolden catch, making it 3rd and short. How about that call on 3rd and inches?
Flacco said they had a pitch play, a pitch, or the pass to Anquan Bolden. He went with the sure thing.
5 plays later, it's 3rd and short. This one they can't convert as Flacco can't find Dennis Pitta. They settle for the field goal to make it a 5-point game. And here comes Colin Kaepernick with 2 timeouts and 3 and change to go. Trying to drive him down the field, and he does that. And Michael Crabtree, 24-yard gain to the Ravens 40 next play.
Man, this kid can throw the ball, man. Man, he can throw the ball.
Here comes the inconvenient truth out of the pistol, 33-yard rumble.
There's so much deception in these plays. It creates creases, natural creases in defenses, and you can't do anything about it because they force you to get upfield.
Can the Niners pull the improbable comeback? 1st and goal. Michael James runs it into the line, takes it down to the 2-minute warning. Ravens have 3 timeouts left. Niners have 2 timeouts left. Next play, 2nd and goal from the Ravens 5. Kaepernick rolling right, looking for Michael Crabtree, and incomplete.
Man, Crabtree, I thought he should have run a little bit deeper
the
into
Ravens
the end
corners,
zone and then come
they
back.
They played pretty darn good tonight. They gave up a lot.
Very tight.
But they didn't break.
Next play, 3rd and goal. Crabtree, $1:55 to go. Crabtree can't corral it, incomplete, and it's 4th down. 1:50 to go.
That was a play they were waiting on right there. They diagnosed that play, the Ravens did, and made that play well.
Kaepernick flinging it to Crabtree. Some contact, to say the least. It's a turnover on downs, no flags. What do you think of Jimmy Smith here, Dion? Is this a penalty or not?
No, that's a great play.
That's how they've been playing all night.
First of all, Crabtree initiated the contact because he wanted to push off and set him up for the back shoulder fade.
And Jim Harbaugh goes DEFCON 1 Bo Schembechler style right there. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed celebrating in the end zone, but what they need to finish this thing up is some quality play from their punter, Sam Cook. Oh yeah, take your time. This is how you take a safety, kids, when you want to win the Super Bowl. Textbook safety taking out of the punter right there. Taking it down to 4 seconds to go. And Cook with the punt. Ted Ginn tries to make something of it. And that wraps it up. The Baltimore Ravens win Super Bowl 47. The older brother, John, beats younger brother, Jim. Jack and Jackie Harbaugh, their long week is over, and Ray Lewis's long ride to another Lombardi trophy ends in the New Orleans Superdome on the last game of his career. 34-31 is the final, with his 3 first-half touchdowns to give him 11 in this postseason, tying, not breaking Kurt Warner's mark, the one that he also holds with Joe Montana. That makes him the MVP, Joe Flacco, of Super Bowl 47.